All right, aloha and welcome to another Aloha Friday episode with Tyler Deveraux, Jackson Campbell. And dude, today we're talking about the premier networking event of the year, Peak Partnership 2023, man. If you were there, you get it. If you weren't, gosh, damn, you have to be kicking yourself in the ass right now. You idiot. You idiot.
I liked how you said premiere.
Yeah.
With such energy, dude, because it was.
Oh, man.
There's not another multifamily networking event that could stand close. Like,
No.
Selfishly, maybe a little biasly, but also truthfully.
Fact, dude.
And was that like any other multifamily event you've ever been to?
No, dude, but it's because of the people that are there, man.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
because of the people that are there, man.
Absolutely.
Nobody's there to flex, and nobody's there to, have pride. Everyone's there to just pour into other people, man. Like, that's the people that are there, dude. It's powerful.
Dude, at the end of the day, that's what makes a good event, isn't it?
Yeah.
The people that are there.
Yeah, we got the best people on the planet,
not the big flashy stuff, not the big whatever. It's the people that are there, man.
Yeah. Flashy stuff's bitching too, though.
It's cool. We like it.
We had both.
Yeah, we like it. No, but it was awesome. It was awesome. Such amazing people. Such amazing people there. Awesome. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah,
Sorry, Ty. I just kind of hijacked here. But yeah, as Ty's alluded to, we're going to talk about Peak Partnership, the most amazing multifamily networking, inspirational, whatever event, dude. It was awesome.
It was
all
awesome,
the things,
dude.
man. It was incredible.
It was
Dude,
awesome.
Do you mind if we just dive into some of these questions, dude?
Let's dive in, dude. And hey, I'll preface by this.
Yeah.
Thank y'all. Every one of you who are listening to this that were there, thank you for being there. Like, you are what made it so powerful. Thank you. It was powerful, man, and I'm very grateful to have been a part of it. So thank you for being there. And dude, there's just zero chance. I don't know, whatever questions you ask, it's like there's zero chance that we truly recapture like how powerful the event was and how grateful I am to be a part of it. And especially because, dude, we're a couple days post, and I still haven't caught up mentally, physically, emotionally.
No, man. Really though.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome though.
It was awesome. I'm glad that you started off like that, because I should probably do the same and say thank you to everybody that made such a massive impact on me there. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of the times as staff, we worry about so much of like creating amazing experience so it's impactful for the attendees.
Yeah.
But little do the attendees know the impact that they have on us. It was special, man. Had a lot of really, really good heart-to-heart conversations about people listening to the podcast and what it's done for them and how it's helped them. It was just really, really special.
Yeah.
To everybody that I talked to, I love you.
Yeah.
Like, truly. It was amazing. It was
Totally,
just amazing
dude.
to meet up with everybody. So oftentimes we see them virtually.
Yeah.
We jump on coaching calls. We jump on webinars. We jump on stuff all the time, and we see them virtually. But to be in the flesh with these amazing humans, it's just different, man. It's different. It was a special event for sure. But let's dive in, Ty. What made this year's Peak Partnership event bigger and better than last year's? What do you think? What do you think was that?
Dude, our team, and it's our team. Dude, our team is amazing, man. Like, we came together as a group. Well, dude, they worked for freaking months and months and months and months and months planning all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Planning all of it, thinking through the details, thinking through how to make it impactful, thinking through all of it,
Yeah.
So, dude, our team, man, like, it's just super powerful what they were able to do and what they were able to plan for and what they're able to put together. It's just incredible, dude. And that set the tone for everyone to be able to truly, every attendee there, myself included, to truly be able to be in the right space to maximize the event. So, thank you to the team, dude. This doesn't happen without the team, and they freaking crushed, man. They crushed.
Absolutely. Did you, through that planning process, was there anything that stuck out to you that like the team really did to think bigger to make it that much more of an impactful event?
Yeah, I mean, dude, from the after last year's peak, I mean, you were part of all this, so but like we had a whole list of like learning experiences, things that should go better, things that could go better.
Yeah.
And then we built the entire momentum of this year's event off of those. So those things that, a lot of you at Peak 2022 probably have no idea about, because the team did an amazing job at handling that behind the scenes. But, dude, there's so many learning lessons from Peak 2022. Like, it's a challenging event to put on. There's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of moving pieces. And, dude, the fact that they documented those and then put plans in place to enhance all of those areas, dude, that's huge. So that proportion. Taking those things that frustrations, things that didn't go quite as well, and then made sure that they were huge points this year. Awesome.
Dude, that's just a great principle for life and growth on its own, isn't it?
Yes.
And it is a way to think bigger.
Yep.
And those times, like I remember doing those, having a couple of those touch bases with some of the players from 2022, and like going over the things that we could have done better. It's not necessarily the easiest thing to do. Not necessarily the easiest thing to point out the weak spots, to point out like where we could have done better, taking ownership of those things too. But it is indeed thinking bigger.
Totally.
So it's actionable that we could take away from there is whenever you get through anything big that you're trying to accomplish, as soon as you can, and I mean as soon as you can, sit down and review that and be able to pull out those learning lessons from there to better yourself. It's huge.
And then put them into action.
Yeah.
Right? Identify it and then put them into action. So it's a big piece of the puzzle, man. And you think of, so what else did we do to think bigger? Like one of the learning lessons was, dude, this is our event, dude, right? It's our event. Last year, we didn't even have a booth.
Yeah.
We were so consumed with everything else that we were like, oh my gosh, we didn't even think about our booth. Well, you show up this year, we had a booth. Right? Shout out to Tasha and Melissa and you, bro, for just freaking designing that and putting those things together, and for everybody to run in those booths so everyone knew where to go, you know?
Bitchin'.
Huge, man. Those were awesome.
Okay, dude, give us totally, and I love that about like our team and how we thought bigger. But I want to get a little bit more personal here, Ty. Give us a rundown of what it was like to step on stage to a sea of those energized people ready to be impacted. Were you nervous? If you were, how did you overcome that? If you were, and like, where do you come up with how do you get such confidence, my man? To be able
I was nervous as hell, bro. You kidding me?
Well, give us that rundown. How did that go?
Oh man, listen, there's a fine line between being nervous and excited, right? Right. Same things, we talk about this all the time. It's the same trigger as fire.
Same chemicals in your brain. It's the same thing.
It's a fine line, dude, between being nervous, fearful, and excited. So you kidding me? Dude, I peek out on stage. And I actually didn't peek out. That's what I probably should do. But, you know, I should have probably peeked out. But I did not peek out. I'm just back there, like right the very, very first, right? Back there getting everything ready, getting everything prepared. And just wanted to be the best event possible, dude. And knowing that if we can set the tone in the beginning, dude, it creates momentum for the event. And that's a big, big responsibility. Totally. So, totally nervous, bro. Very, very nervous. But did you walk out and you, for me personally, I'll tell you this. I'm always nervous. Here's why I'm always nervous beforehand. I'm always nervous beforehand because I know that my best stuff, like the best things, the most impactful things, are never in my bullet points, ever. I put bullet points, I know a direction that I'm going, but when I go through and I review, when I go through and I rewatch a keynote, or when I go through and it never follows my outline. It never does. Because I just believe that the best things will come from inspiration from the crowd. And so that's awesome, but it causes a lot of nervous, anxiousness going in. But then you walk out on stage and you see that everyone is there and all they want you to do is just kill it.
Yeah.
Like they're all cheering for you. I mean, that is powerful, man. That's powerful. So then at that point, all the nerves wash away. All of it. Really? That's why I love Devon, dude. That's why I love Devon, because Devon gets them pumped up, gets them energized, and then I walk out and it's just gratitude. It's just straight gratitude. So how does it feel? Everyone should be able to feel that. Everyone should have an opportunity that they can walk out, be introduced by Devon, be pumped up by Devon, and have a whole sea of people just excited to see you, and you be so damn excited to see them. Everyone should be able to experience that in their life, man, and I'm grateful that I get to experience it. So, yeah, grateful.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Yeah. So at the end of the day, gratitude is how you overcome the nervousness.
Totally, bro.
Finding the gratitude in there.
Can I give you an example?
Yeah.
I'm sitting backstage, and this is before everything started, before anybody's in the room, and I'm just like going through my notes, right, of what I'm going to say. And Devon's out there with the dancers, and I'm just hearing them. I'm backstage, they're out on stage. They're like, okay, they're preparing for my intro. Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna play this music, you're gonna do this, and then I'm gonna announce this, and then when this happens, you do this. Like, I'm just listening to them time and time again, this whole team of people all preparing and strategizing to make sure that my introduction is bitchin'. And I'm back there sobbing like a little bitch, bro. Like multiple times, like, oh my God. Every time they'd be like, and now welcome to the stage. And I'd just start to cry and I'd be like, oh shit. Because I have this whole team of people that care enough about me, and it goes farther than me, but care enough about me they want to make sure that it's bitching, and then care enough about the crowd that they know that if we can start this thing bitching, that it just is momentum that creates. Like literally, man, I was so grateful for that. Like it's a humbling thing, man.
It's awesome, man. Yeah. It is cool to be. It is also cool to be in that and to be there with you, man.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I can speak for the entire team, but I can speak for myself. But I know when we do what we need to do to make sure you're your best self, then the crowd is taken care of as well, and they're gonna get they're gonna get the best.
You guys
out
do
of
that,
Deveraux.
dude. You
So
guys
that's
do
awesome.
that.
That's awesome to hear, dude. There's a lot of we had some amazing keynotes.
Yeah.
We had Charlie Rocket, Emily Ford, Inky Johnson, yourself. It was such an impactful weekend hearing from all those. What kind of impact did those keynotes have on you?
Oh, huge.
What were some of those takeaways that you got from those keynotes?
Takeaways from the keynotes?
Yeah.
Dude. That's a loaded question, man. Like Emily, I'll tell you what I took from Emily. I took from Emily, I loved how structured she was. I loved how she had done so much research about the topic to help it land. And I'll tell you the biggest thing for me watching, and just comments that I get back from people, right? I'm sitting in the crowd and she has us go through this exercise of, 10 questions essentially, right? And then she makes, if you have more than a one or something, everybody stand up. And to see so many people in the room stand up and look around and be like, oh shit, okay, I'm not alone. I've went through some shit in my life. And then if you were above a 4 or a 5 or something, then you stayed standing, and a lot of people stayed standing. I remember just looking around that room and being like, no, I know these people, man. Looking around these rooms and being like, oh, that's why they're so powerful. Oh, that's why they are the way they are. Meaning, that's why they're so powerful. You know, and seeing them, I'm like, okay. For me, that was powerful.
Yeah.
For everyone else in the room, I know this because of the comments that I got. For them to see that their stories they're not alone. There's
power
in that. It's awesome how she pulled that out.
Yeah.
Super cool how she pulled that out.
Yeah, no, there's definitely power in that for sure.
Yeah.
It's a powerful thing.
So that was a big thing. Inky, I saw how to deliver a message. I saw how to deliver a message. Inky knows how to deliver a message. And just so y'all don't know, that doesn't happen by accident. That happens purposefully, man. Nobody was more inquisitive about our people than Inky.
Yeah.
Nobody. He asked me tons of questions all the time, like, what do you think they're facing? What do you think their problems are? Which obviously I'm very aware.
Yeah.
So we're talking about that. He asked those questions all the time. He asked those questions. He texted me in the morning of, hey, man, just game day prep for me, man. Let me know. Is there any other different feelings you've got now that you have a day underneath your belt? Anything else I need to be aware of? Like, dude, he's just inquisitive the whole time. And then what does he do? He gets out there and he delivers the message that needs to be delivered. It
was fantastic.
Like he cared.
Yeah.
He cared so much, man. He talked about process over product. And no matter what the circumstance is, right, we just keep going. And, dude, it was just so damn powerful. It was so damn powerful. Just take ownership of what you're doing in your life, right?
Yeah.
Charlie, same thing, man. Same thing. Just, dude, no matter what, there's solutions. Dream crazy, right?
Yeah.
Dream crazy. No matter what, there's solutions. All the keynotes, dude, were so damn powerful. Ryan getting up and talking about connection. James getting up and talking about networking. Dallas getting up and talking about how to maximize the seconds and minutes of your life, right? And really bringing that to the forefront in that perspective. So many amazing keynotes with amazing messages to share. And, they all had one common theme. If you really look at it, one common theme is just dude, taking ownership of your life, man. Taking ownership of your life.
Yeah.
And so I love to learn, dude. I love to see how different people deliver messages. I love to see that different ways to communicate. My communication style is so much different than Emily's. Emily's is so much different than Inky's. Inky's is so much there's so many different ways to deliver a message, and that alone should tell you how you need to lean into who you are. Whatever you are, whoever you are, lean into that, man. Don't try to mold and be somebody else. Don't. Be you.
Very good.
Be you. You are your greatest superpower. You are what the world needs. You. Be you.
Yeah. Absolutely. Outside of their presentations, was there anything that stuck out to you from them just as individuals?
Oh, dude.
That you could apply or that you noticed?
Totally, man. Inky, as I've said this multiple times, I think I even said it from stage, but Inky is as as powerful as he is on stage, as impressive as he is on stage, he's so much more impressive and powerful off stage as a person.
Yeah.
Just as a person. He's humble, man. And humility, he's very confident. He's humbly confident, right? But he's just humble, man, and grateful to be in the position that he is and grateful to be able to do what God has called him to do.
Yeah.
And so he just poured into everybody at all points. And it's interesting, man, because right after that, I could see this video from him. And he said, the only thing that I owe people, this is like literally the day after. This is a video he posted. The only thing that I owe people when I'm in their presence is to give them my best self, like to be excellent when I'm around them, right? To give them my best self. And I was just like, well, you did that.
Absolutely did that.
You did that.
100%.
Like that's what he did, man. He just was his best. He just made sure that he was his best self always. And gosh, man, tons of respect. Emily, so kind, dude. So kind. Like, so kind. Jake too, so kind. The whole way through. And if you noticed, it's very rare, man. You usually have a keynote and those keynotes speak and they're out.
Yeah.
That wasn't the case this week, man. It wasn't the case this week. Like, dude, all the keynotes came to celebrate all the keynotes. That's what happened.
Yeah.
They were there to celebrate and encourage all the keynotes, which is just, it's pretty awesome, man.
It was awesome.
Pretty awesome.
It was awesome.
So, yeah.
Just a takeaway that I had there, just kind of looping back to Inky. I had the opportunity to chop it up with Inky and chat with Inky quite a bit while he was there.
Yeah.
That guy is so present and really was his. So I just more of just like a testimonial to what you just said about what he said is important to him about being present. Like incredibly present. That he makes those people around him just feel that much better and that much more seen. Dude, okay, so let's moving on here, dude. Can you give us some of your takeaways from this weekend? Obviously, there was a ton of takeaways. Did you have anything? Did you have anything you wanted to add on Charlie?
No, I was gonna. Oh, Charlie for sure. Yeah. Charlie's energy is crazy, man. I like crazy. There once again every single day to pour into everybody, backstage, in the crowd, and like
they were doing things that was all three of them did things that wasn't asked of them.
All three of them, dude.
Did extra things that weren't asked
absolutely, which is a success principle, by the way. It's going above and beyond. It's going the extra mile. Like all three of them.
All three did
because they cared. They cared about the success of the event. You want to know why they cared about the success of the event? Because they knew that the people at the event cared about their success. Like every one of them, dude, when they walked off stage, they were like, holy shit. So I want you to listen to this. When you're in a crowd and somebody is pouring into you from stage, you think that that's one-sided. You think that they're just pouring into you. No. It's reciprocal. And what makes our network just so unique and so powerful is every one of those keynotes. Dude, you want to know how you know that they felt it? Because they wanted to stay around it. They didn't just bolt. They didn't just leave. They stayed to be a part of it. Like, y'all poured into them, and I'm speaking from myself because you poured into me. You poured into us. I mean, way more than we could ever pour into you. You just poured into us, man. It was very, very felt and very grateful for that.
It was awesome.
Yeah. So, dude, yeah.
So good. Yeah. Dude, what are some other, just let's kind of throw it out there, just kind of a very vague question. What are some other takeaways? What are some of your biggest takeaways from the
How powerful a team is, dude. And this is from a million different levels, okay?
Yeah.
That event doesn't happen without our team, dude. Without you, without Noel, without Jordan, without Nico, without Stroud, without literally everyone there, dude. It just doesn't happen without the team. The team, that event could never happen without them, dude. Like so many people would come up and be like, man, you're like this event, your team pours in, dude. They work in unison, man. And why they do that, how that happens, like I wish I could give you like this is why. They're just the right people and they're great people, and I'm very, very grateful to be surrounded around the just great people. Super grateful for that. Like the team, dude, the team. I look at, we meet together Thursday night as a team, and we talk about the intentions of the weekend and what the weekend, and we get recentered and refocused on what the intention is, right? And we bring them to the forefront. You know, we said a prayer. Now, what does that prayer do? That brings everyone's attention to the forefront. This is the focus, right? And the focus is everyone there. The focus is pouring into every person there. That's the focus. That's the key. And then what happens? Well, that happens, man. And it's palpable, dude. It's just palpable. When you pour into others, others will then pour into you naturally, but more importantly, they'll go pour into other people. So then that's what happened, right? Like, that's what happened. Like, my first keynote, my first presentation, even though I call it like the State of the Union address, is very strategic, like to the group. And it is about, dude, it's aloha, man. It's pouring into other people. It's seeing people as who they are. And seeing the best in you, but seeing the best in others. And then what happens? Because our network is so amazing, they actually believe it. They actually go put it to work. And then what do you see the whole weekend? You see people pouring into other people. All weekend, man. And that's why everyone there leaves and like, gosh, this is life-changing. It's because everyone made sure that it was life-changing for other people. When you make sure that it's life-changing for other people, it'll be life-changing for you. You know?
And it's just another success principle.
That's it. Yeah.
Focus on your outside. Focus on the outside, and it'll come back to you always.
110,
man,
dude.
so
just
good.
Team, man. And then to think about the teams of just the network. You know, the network then starts to support the network.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody that was there, dude, anybody that was there that had never been to one of our events, God, just felt it. They just felt it. Just because the network made sure they felt it. You want to know why? Because the network sees the energy, knows the energy, and protects it, lives it, protects it, buys into it. And if they didn't, well then, dude, the team could be amazing. It would never pass down. It would never happen the way that it just happened. Like everyone has to buy in, and everyone bought in.
Yeah.
And if you did, it's damn near impossible not to buy in. When all those people are buying in, it's damn near impossible for you not to buy in.
Exactly, dude. Along those lines, I talked to multiple people that it was their first introduction to multifamily mindset.
Yeah.
And what it is that we do.
Yep.
And I asked them, what was your favorite part about the weekend? None of them said the speakers.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
None of them said the speakers. No. All of them said the community, the network you have here. Everybody here has just made this event amazing. The connections I've made, the people I've met, the positivity, the abundance. Like those were the words that they used when describing the event being introduced to us.
Yep.
Which is a very, very, like to your point, doesn't happen without the team.
No.
Doesn't happen without the network. It doesn't happen without
That's
everybody.
the vision of that event, though, man. The vision of that event is to bring all these amazing people together into one room and watch what happens.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
And I'd mentioned this. Like, I had mentioned, you know, somebody would come up and ask me, like, man, there's, like, nobody that is an asshole or something here, you know? And I was like, well, yeah, mate, because, like, those people that are just complaining, those people that are just stuck, those people that are just, like, victimized, poor pity me, they ain't there, man. They stayed their ass home. Oh, I ain't going to that event. I'm just going to stay here, man. Like, because they're victims. Anybody that's there, dude, it takes time, sacrifice, energy, effort to be there. And guess what? That's why the event is the way it is. And if you were sitting at your ass at home, but you're listening to this podcast, you fucking missed out. And you missed out because you were a whiny little bitch at home. And I say that in the most loving way possible. Get your ass into environments like that. That's what changes you internally, externally. Internally, so that you can go change your external environment, your external world. It's a shame to me, dude, how many people just stayed home because of a struggle that they're seeing, when in reality, the answer to overcome that struggle is to get out of your fucking living room and into an event like that, period.
Pause. So powerful. No, but it's so powerful.
Sorry, dude, I got a little bit heated.
Dude,
it's just crazy to me, man. Get out of your damn living room and get into environments that can change you, or stay there and complain.
Right.
But don't bring that shit into our event. And it wouldn't, even if you would have, nobody would have listened.
No.
You would have been changed that fucking quick.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. You wouldn't even want it to be negative.
No. You realize very quickly that those little things that have been holding you up are you. It's you. You realize that so fast, but that's so empowering, dude, because when you realize that, now you're not just the victim of circumstance, you're the creator of that bitch. It's powerful.
And you can change it immediately.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people don't understand, too, is like as soon as you recognize that recognizing it is giving you the power back.
Man. Can I give you this process, right? You recognize, realize, and recreate, right? First, you have to recognize that you're in a rut. Like, what energy are you putting out? What energy, I rank my energy on a 1 to 10 all the time. If I'm all of a sudden dipping to a 7, it's like, well, shit, I better recreate, because what energy you're putting out, that's your energy. Like, that's what you're giving to the world, saying, hey, give me more of this.
Yeah.
So you have to recognize the energy that you're putting out. Recognize it. Then you need to realize the real lies that you're telling yourself, right? Realize the real lies that you're telling yourself. So many times we tell ourselves these made up stories. Man, this is such a struggle because of, man, I know. When in reality, what do? You reframe it. Now you start telling, dude, a better story. You have to recognize that you're in a rut. Then you need to realize the real lies that you're telling yourself and shift the story, and that's where you recreate. That's number 3. You recreate a different story. And what's that story? That needs to be based out of gratitude. Gratitude. What are you grateful for? What that struggle that you have, how can you spin that to be of gratitude? Because gratitude will propel you forward. But recognize, realize, and then recreate a new story.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's powerful. What else, man? What else? What are some other takeaways? Is there anything else you want to
just how powerful learning lessons are. Like if you truly we mentioned this, but if you truly document learning lessons, then growth will happen, period.
And it's inevitable.
Like so many people come up and they're like, man, this is like crazy. This is so much better than year one. And year one was awesome, but year two, holy shit, man. And it's like, well, yeah, like this is what growth looks like. And that's huge. That's team gets that, right? Team gets that. So dude, learning lessons are powerful, but how many of you are documenting your learning lessons? How many of you are documenting them? If you're documenting them and then you're putting the new plan into action, dude, you'll grow too. And people will look at you and be like, holy shit, man, V1 of you, version 1 of you was pretty bitching, but V2, what the fuck happened? Dude, you document them. How many people are doing that? I would say probably very few people are doing that. But there's your takeaway, man. Document them, put solutions to them, and you will grow at a rapid pace, man.
So good. It's all good, dude. It's that consciousness that you've been talking about too.
That's it.
It's noticing those things.
Oh.
Noticing them, writing them down, keeping them at the forefront of your mind too, because you had, in order to work at them, you have to notice them and be aware of them.
Yeah, right. Sure. You have to say that again. Like in order for you to notice them,
to work on them, you have to notice them. They have to be there. You know what I mean? A lot of times, like I know for me, I don't know for everybody else, but like we fail at something, we mark it up as an L, and then we try to forget about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's almost like we try to forget about it, and it's like, all right, let's try a new way.
Yeah.
And then maybe this time we'll get the win. Maybe this time it will work. Rather than taking the L and just dissecting that bitch, looking at that thing. Why was it a loss? What did I do wrong? What could I have done better?
Yes.
What could I have done prior to? What didn't I forecast?
Because, dude, just for the record, even though peak 2023 went phenomenal and it was super impactful, shit, man, we have a shitload of learning lessons this year too. Tons.
100%.
Tons of learning lessons, man. There's a lot of things that we did on our end that need to be better. But we know that, dude. We've documented once again, which means next year, once again, it will even be even bigger, better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of wrapping up here.
Yep.
Is there any other things you wanted to? I was going to ask you about 2024. Do we have maybe a sneak peek at 2024? Do you have anything there that we can?
As far as
where it's going to be, do we know who the next speakers are going to be? Any of those big changes, or are we kind of keeping those tight-lipped?
If I'm being honest, I haven't even thought about it.
Yeah, we are here.
I haven't.
We are here. Okay, then this brings up this question, T.
Okay.
And this brings up this question. We just had a bitchin' event.
Okay.
It was less than 3 days ago.
Yep.
We spent an entire day, 17 hours traveling back from Orlando here to Maui.
Yep.
You're already back in the office getting after it. You were here 8 a.m. We were all here 8 a.m. So I guess that's maybe even a better question. Instead of asking what's 2024 going to look like, why do you feel the need to be in here today to continue to work on things instead of maybe taking a little bit of a break after such a massive win and celebrating? Why do you feel the need to get your ass back in the office? Get to work?
I love that, bro. I'll tell you that I am, my celebrations are pretty short-lived, right?
Yeah.
Celebrate it, cool, felt awesome, what's next, right? But I'll tell you why that is. It's because it's impossible to go to an event like that. It's impossible, man, just wake up to all these messages that I couldn't even reply to all of them. And all these posts that I couldn't even, and not just feel like, dude, there's so many times, bro, and I know you know this, but there's so many times where I come to the office and it's like, dude, what am I doing, you know?
Yeah.
Because, dude, I don't have to be in the office all the time. I just don't, you know? And a lot of times I wonder, like, why am I here, right?
Yeah.
I don't wonder that now, man. Do you want to know why we put on events like Peak? It's to pour into y'all, first off. But you just understand, man, it re-energizes all of us. There's a lot of shit that goes on with running a business like this. You know, you want to know who we hear from the most? The people who are the biggest challenges. That's who we hear from the most, man. And listen, there's a fucking shitload of them. And I love all of y'all, but there's a lot of them, man. And that's what comes to the forefront. Why? Because those are the things we need to improve to be able to get better, period. Because those people are bringing things that need to be improved on. Like, just a fact.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for that. But that's who you hear from the most. Like, even though people will bring good things to the forefront, well, those good things are great, but you know what's most important? The feedback that you're getting to improve. Because we're all about improving. And so that is powerful, but that can also be exhausting sometimes.
Yeah.
And to the point where it's like, man, what am I doing? And then all of a sudden I'll get a letter in the mail. and I'll get a comment on, you know, a text message, or I'll get an email, or I'll get a message on IG, and it's like, oh man, okay. Well, dude, amplify that by 1 million, for real. Amplify that by 1 million by being at peak and having all those conversations. Dude, I talked to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people and heard their stories. Hundreds and hundreds of people, dude. I was at the luau. I mean, I was the last person to leave the luau. Why? Because I wanted to talk to every single person that wanted to talk to me. I wanted to hear the story. I wanted to hear what was going on. I wanted to hear the impact. I wanted to hear it, right? Same thing on Sunday night. You'd be hard-pressed to find the...
No, you won't.
Yeah, you won't find it, dude. Where the last person to leave is the...
Keynote for that?
Yeah, the main keynote and the person that's running the event. Like, dude, I was the last person to leave. Why? Well, because it does a lot for me. I want to talk to every single person that actually wants to talk to me. And you need to understand that those things, I'm like documenting them. I'm taking them. That's fueling me for the whole year. My team is fueling them for the whole year. I get a message from Nick Nielsen, dude. And Nick Nielsen's telling me, man, just understand how powerful you are to us, okay? Nick Nielsen, he comes and he helps out at our 3-day events a bunch. But do you understand? So he's traveling, leaving his family, right? I do the same thing. Well, his family doesn't see that. His family doesn't see the impact he's making, but his wife just happened to come to peak. And his wife just happened to see all the people that were coming up to Nick and be like, thank you, man, that conversation we had. When you helped me do this, it helped me do this, changed my life when we... Nick doesn't hear that enough. Our team doesn't hear that enough. And dude, for his wife to see that was powerful. Because all of a sudden, it's like, think about how challenging it would be where when you go and you're putting in work, like your people, the most important people in your home, they don't see the impact you're making. Well, peak is a way for them to see that impact. They're there, man. They see the impact that they're making on your life, and that runs into their whole family, man. So it goes so much deeper than just me. It goes so much deeper than just you. It goes into the families, the lives of all those people that make this thing run. Your wife was there.
Yeah, she's blown away.
I know it had to have brought a different, I mean, how did that,
dude, she loved it, man. No, bro, she loved it. Same, more or less the same exact thing.
Because you sacrificed a ton, bro. You're in here a lot, man. Did it open her eyes as to why you do what you do?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely, man. Definitely. For sure.
So understand, man, when you're there, you're not just there to learn. You're not just there to take in. And I know you know this because you were there and I saw you do it. By having those conversations with people, you're giving back more than you'll ever know, man. And having an impact on our lives more than you'll ever know. And I'm grateful for that.
Nah,
so I can't remember what your initial question was, but so why am I in the office? That's what it was? Because, bro, you kidding me? I'm grateful grateful to have the responsibility on my shoulders that we get to amplify this bitch to the next level. You know?
It's almost an honor.
Huge, bro.
You know?
Gosh damn, man.
To a certain extent. Like, there is times where we get tired, we get exhausted, and we get frustrated.
I'm tired right now,
you know
bro.
what I mean?
I'm exhausted right now.
You know? And we get frustrated. But at the same time, it is an honor to bear that, I'm sure.
Sure, dude. Sure. Yes.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So, yeah, man.
So, last question as we roll out here. For those that attended Peak, for those that attended Peak,
okay,
what should they do with what they gained from Peak?
Take ownership of your life, man. Every aspect of your life. If you notice the theme, even though every speaker spoke about it differently, the theme was ownership, man. Is to take ownership of the small details of your life and the lives of others. Every speaker spoke about it in a different way, very intentionally. Why? Because, dude, we talk to all y'all, man. And we hear about everything. You know what the biggest separator is? Those who take ownership for their lives. That's the biggest separator, man. So, dude, take ownership for your life. Like, what is it? What is it that you've been slacking on? What is it that you can now implement, right? What is it? What is it? What is it? Take ownership for your life and everything that you're doing. And when you do that, that kuleana, right, that responsibility, when you do that, things change, man. Things have so much more meaning and purpose, and you're just proud of what you've done and what you're doing. Yeah. So, dude, take everything that you've learned and condense it to the top 3 actions that you need to take. What are the top 3 actions that you need to take as a person? And then go take those actions, dude. But you take ownership of your life and understand that when a challenge comes, when a struggle comes, what's interesting, man, is when those challenges come, when those struggles come, if I'm being for real, sometimes I recognize them, sometimes I feel them, sometimes they wear me down, but a lot of the times, like, they just don't. They just don't, because I know that it's part of the process, dude.
Yeah.
I just know it's part of the process to this bigger end result. Like, And when you have that perspective, when you truly understand and recognize that those struggles, those problems are just part of the process to a way bigger picture that you're trying to get to, shit, dude, it energizes you, dude, because it shows you where the work needs to be put in. It just shows you where the work, when you document learning lessons, it's not exhausting because it's like, oh my gosh, look at all these things we can fix. That ain't it, dude. It's energizing because you know where the work needs to be put. If you don't know what needs the work, well, now you're just, nothing really has purpose. Nothing really has meaning.
And that's exhausting.
That's exhausting.
That's exhausting.
When you identify and you know where to put the focus, the energy, that's energizing, man. That's weaponizing. That's amazing.
That's awesome, man. You touched on Kuleana.
Yeah.
I think it's perfect Hawaiian value for today.
Sweet. Love it.
Kuleana.
Love it.
It's that deeper sense of responsibility, right?
Yep.
It's that deeper sense of ownership.
Yes.
Right? It's like almost taking ownership and responsibility and making it one.
Totally.
It's Kuleana is to have that deep sense of responsibility and ownership of your life.
Yeah.
Of your life.
Bro, when you went to a branding meeting with me, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember these targets that we hit?
Oh man, you're getting specific here. What targets?
Like, remember, we had to get it down to one-word problems and solutions.
Yeah, I don't know if I can remember exactly what they
Doubt
were.
and uncertainty.
Yes.
We're talking about who our people are.
Yes.
We're talking about we're talking about
Yes.
the target that we have and what it's doubt and uncertainty. Mm-hmm. And how do you overcome doubt and uncertainty? Kuleana, man. You take responsibility. And what's crazy is when you do that, when you take responsibility of your life, and not just your life, but the lives of others, because it has to, once again, purpose has to transcend self, mm-hmm. right? So when you take responsibility of your life, that's number one. It'll help you take responsibility of the lives of others. Like, you really need to put them on and be like, okay, I need to do this because by doing this, it's going to help them, right? When you do that, it actually brings so much clarity and removes doubt and uncertainty, and it brings certainty and confidence. How does it bring certainty and confidence? It brings certainty and confidence because now you're taking ownership of your life. You're taking Kuleana responsibility for your life, which means now you're not a victim of anything. You're the creator of everything. You're not the victim of anything. You're the creator of everything. Anything that comes your way, it's fuel, it's a resource to help you become stronger. Any challenge that you have, that's a challenge because by you overcoming that challenge, you're going to help other people overcome those challenges in their life. But if you don't overcome that challenge, if you don't take responsibility for life, Kuleana for your life, and overcome that challenge, well, then you're never going to be able to help people overcome those challenges. And what was crazy is we talked about, we have this owner lunch day one, and people are asking us questions. And one of those questions was like, how do you determine who's the leader and these communication? And what did we talk about? We talked about challenges that we had just overcome as a ownership team. The challenges that we are actively overcoming. And what was cool is the three of us got together right after that lunch. And we're like, man, how cool is that? Like, these things that we fucking worked through, these things that we took Kuleana for, these things that we took responsibility of, now just because we did that, we were just in a position to help them overcome those things in their own life. If we wouldn't have done that, we wouldn't have been in a position to truly impact their life. But because we did that, because we got the fucking mud and went through it, we were able to help them avoid the mud so they don't have to even go through it. They can avoid that shit. That's powerful, man. So do Kuleana, man. Take responsibility of not just your life, but the lives of all those around you. And man, you will grow, dude. You will grow. And you will peak. You will reach the peak and see new peaks. You won't just peak. You don't just ever peak.
It doesn't end. Unless
you stop, man. Yeah. It's the mountain with no peak. Mm-hmm. Right? That's focusing on the process. That's focusing on the journey. And that starts with Kuleana. Responsibility, man.
So good. Yeah. Tyler, thank you, man.
Thank you, bro. Yeah. Thank you to everyone who was there. Like, listen, from the bottom of my freaking heart, I love you. I see you. And I just need you to know, like, you guys poured more into me than you'll ever realize, more into my team than you'll ever realize, like, and more into each other than you'll probably ever realize. Like, y'all made that event special. To my team, man, I love you. I'm so proud to be associated with you. I'm so grateful for everything that you do for everyone that we serve. And for those that we serve, thank you for serving us, man. Thank you for serving us, man. By showing up, by being there, by just pouring into others, you're serving us more than you'll ever know. Love y'all, appreciate y'all. That weekend was not just life-changing for you, it was life-changing for me and everyone that was there. Everyone that was there because of everyone that was there. So,
absolutely.
Love it.
Thanks, brother.
So, hey, listen, take those things, man. Take those things. At the end of each lunch that we have with the Platinum Circle, I would end it by saying, hey, you're here, you're privileged to be in this room. Now, some people didn't have the financial means to be in this platinum lunch, but you did. Take it and give it to other people. I'm going to say the same thing here, man. All of y'all that were privileged enough to be at peak, take those things that you learn and now go pour that into people that weren't able to be at peak. Enhance their lives, man. Take coolly on it for them and their experiences. And when you do that, man, you'll grow. And that is what living with aloha means, right? So take those things, run with them, and live always with aloha. Peace.